Hello. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome back to the channel once again. And if it is your first time here, my name is Gigo, and today we are all the way at Kumasi. So we will be naming this project the Kumasi project, right? Which is, I think we have two structures, right, on this land. So we have a two-bedroom, which is going to be like an apartment, right, for rentals, which is investment. And then we have, I think, a five-bedroom, which the owner owns, right? So as you can see, this structure was already there before we came. So we have to assess what has been done from the previous builders, and then we know where to take off or what we have to do, right? If we have to accept it or not, if we still have to do some corrections from the ground floor, from the foundation, then we can correct. We just don't take over, just like that. So as you can see, Brother Sami, Efo, and the steel bender went there to do the assessment, right? So after the assessment, Efo and his team, have to begin, right? So they have to go to the timber market to buy the materials which is needed, for, to further the project. So in today's video, it's going to be all about decking work, right? Which is, Efo who is behind the decking work. And I know we've seen Efo doing this, several times. He will take us through, his experience on this particular project. But as we all know here at Group Production Group, right, we're also here to learn. So, we will learn something from the owner with this particular project, which is something that I have been talking about for some time now. So I think this is going to be a perfect example to actually, explain what I have been talking about, right? So that will be the first thing we will look at in today's episode. The second one is going to be about architectural drawing, right? When it comes to architects and builders, right? The reason why sometimes you need the architect to kind of work together with the builder, right? It is very important. People miss that step. It doesn't matter if they are in the same group or not. They can be from a different group, different town, different country, but at least you should let them communicate so that the architect or the builder understands what the architect has put on the paper, right, in the plan. Because we've had a situation where, like, the architect has done his work, the design is nice, architecture drawing, everything looks nice because that is what the owner wants, has all the design and all the cantilevers and stuff. But then the quantity of materials which the architect indicates that we should use is less. It cannot hold the structure, right? You do have an architect that I also don't blame the architect. Sometimes these owners will tell you that, hey, I don't want something which is too expensive. Sometimes they want a nice design, but they don't want it to be expensive. So the architect will just, put a normal, a normal iron rods. Maybe instead of using 18 mm, they'll just put 16. The architects will be reducing some of these materials because the owner doesn't want, to spend more money. And then when we get a drawing, if you don't have an engineer who has a foresight, who can see that, this is not right, the architect or the builder is going to use what the architect has done to, build what is on the paper, what the structure is saying. But when you come to the ground, you realize that it's not going to hold, right? Because the measurement and the quantity, right, of materials which has been indicated in the architectural drawing is going to be a structural failure, right? So sometimes if you don't have a correct builder, an engineer who understands the drawing, who has the foresight, you finish with your house and you will have a problem, right? Because we do have an architect who will come and say, yeah, this is what I put in there, but come to the ground and come and see what is happening. That's why I always say that your architect should sometimes be on the ground, right? At every important state, the architect should come and check and see, hey, what the builder is doing is right, or the builder has changed something in the structure. That communication is very, very important. That's why sometimes when you work with a group, right, who has everything in there, that communication becomes easy. They can easily communicate and make sure that they get the right thing done for you, right? So these are very crucial things that we have to pay attention. Sometimes it is not a builder's fault that you do have cracks or you do have problems in your structure. Sometimes it is the architect, right? The architect always wants to make your house look beautiful, but sometimes the logic behind it doesn't work, right? The kind of iron rods, the materials that they indicate that we should use sometimes doesn't make sense, right? These are architects that, I mean, some of them just want to do what you ask them to do. Some of them, they are just scared to tell you that this is not going to work or this is going to cost you more money. So they will just kind of put less materials in there, and you take it for quantity surveying, like to check for your quantity estimate. Your estimate will come less, but on the ground, it's not going to work, right? So you need a foresight, engineer. You need someone that can read the drawing and already visual that this is how it's going to be at the end, right?
So now you start putting this thing, the beam plates now. So now we start putting the beam plates at the same time doing the boarding too. So, but the one we are seeing on the top now, that one is our mosquito net structure. That is where we are celebrating. So this is the beam plates now. So the wall is not straight, so we have to the block work. The top is not no top level, so we have to pick our own level so that we use it to knock the beam plate. So that's what we have done. So as you can see, the beam plates now. I put the rope, but you can't see the rope. Yeah, because the rope is something light.
So that is a full for you with the update of the Kumasi project decking phase. So our second, subject for today's video, which will be like the takeaway also about investment, is what the owner is doing with this particular project. I believe it is a one plot, right, which the owner is building on, but the owner is building a two bedroom apartment, which is going to be for rent, for income. And after that, I mean, she's going to build a 5 bedroom, which is going to be a place where she is going to stay, or even also put it out for rentals if she is not ready to come back home yet, right? Rather than building together maybe a 7 bedroom house or a 5 bedroom house, which is not apartment or which cannot be for rent. I mean, those kind of houses, if you build a huge house which has like one entry into the house, that becomes a challenge. If you want to rent it out, that means that you need like someone with a bigger family to rent it out. And I mean, I don't think that you're going to rent it out for a lower cost if you have that huge structure, right? So these are things that, I mean, we should consider, especially for the young ones that are still upcoming, right? I mean, we don't need to build bigger structures now, right? If we have investment project which is fetching us money, is printing money for us, right, without us not doing so much, we can use this money to build together with our hustle to build that bigger mansion that we dream of, right? Business first, before you look at luxury, right? Having a bigger mansion. I mean, all of those things is just to have to make a statement, right? It is just making a statement. You don't have to build a bigger house, bigger mansion, which you are not ready to move in now, and you have to give it to a maid or a gate man to stay in there with his family and stuff. And even when you are ready to come back home, it may be a challenge because they have rules in Ghana, right? That, I mean, you cannot just come and kick them out. You need to establish them, right? So you cannot just come and just kick them out. That is not allowed. So we should consider this also in our plans.
So now we are almost done with the 2x4. So this is how the whole things come. We have done with the 2x4. This one live and color from the Ashanti region, Kumasi. So this particular portion, this is where the staircase will come. This is the staircase area. So we want to put the bamboos first. Then we know that we finished the main job. Then we came to that side now. So this is the hall too. The house is 2-bedroom apartment, but it be semi-detached. So this one portion, one room, and then the other one is another portion. So this is the porch. This is the porch for the front now. This is the porch, but this one we haven't started yet. So we are waiting for the plan so that we see the plan for here. Then from there, we pick it. So this one by the close of today too, the changes will come here. So because of that, we don't have time to. So we have to start cutting the bamboos for the bedrooms and then the kitchen, the toilet, and then the hall. So this is what we are doing because we don't have time like that. People have been calling, so we have to do this one fast. Then, but not fast like that. We have to have a time. Then we did it we did it nice. Then we move to the next site. So because the client too, she is in Ghana now, but she wanted to see everything before she left, but which we don't want to waste in too much time. So that's where today Sunday too we are working. So this is the bamboo that we are doing the cutting of the bamboos. So we are doing the selections too for one side. So this is the elgigogh production all the way from Accra. Yo, hey, you see how the way we enjoy for here. Oh, this one not be vertical. Not be so below. Oh no. This one be foreign one. You see the way we enjoy ourselves for Ashanti. It not be easy. But you see here, this one there they package them. This one they pack
from Chinese or from where?
UK. You don't see this one. You don't see some for Ghana here. This one, I don't see some for Ghana here. It is inside plain.
Pampers also there inside.
Oh, this one for you. This one be your own with that.
Pampers.
No, it will be Pampers. It will be biscuit. No. It be baby own. So this one I only say go take give the key for the house.
Baby own.
So this one for the second boy.
I mean, I'm not one boy.
So then I think this brings us to the end of today's episode of the Kumasi projects. Decking phase. Thanks for staying with me till this far. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next episode. Like it, do we? I pick ya, feel off. Yes, I'm